Action News. Good morning, Las Vegas.
Right now at 5, Nevada is now a coronavirus red zone. The new precautions the White House is urging our state to take. Plus, mask up or pay up. The Valley business fined more than $13,000 for not following COVID-19 safety measures. And new video that police say shows two parents racing just moments before the deadly crash that killed their 1-year-old son. Plus,
they wanted a white candidate, a white male candidate, to be the superintendent.
the head of the teachers union now saying recent attacks against CCSD superintendent are racially motivated. We have a lot of news to get to this morning on Good Morning Las Vegas. First, though, thank you so much for joining us. It's Friday, so we should all be a little excited, right? But not so exciting, maybe, depending on your taste. The forecast, Justin Bruce here to let us know how toasty it's going to get outside.
Yeah, dog days of summer indeed. I guess we can always put it in perspective. Last weekend, we were forecasting 110 and 113 degrees. This weekend, we're looking at 108 on Saturday and 109 on Sunday. So not as bad as it has been. We've got temperatures this morning that actually feel pretty good. We're waking up to the 80s all across the Las Vegas Valley. It's 86 at McCarran, 83 in Centennial Hills, and 82 in Boulder City. And it's pretty calm outside. By the afternoon, little south breeze develops. We'll see high temperatures around 109 in North Las Vegas, 104 in Pahrump, 107 in Mesquite, and 109 down the river in Laughlin. Our 13-hour forecast, tons of sun, calm this morning, like I mentioned, 80s for a couple of hours, Kalina, but by 9 o'clock this morning, we're back in the 90s, and most of the afternoon, we're a little above 105 degrees. We'll get specific about those weekend numbers in just a bit.
All right, Justin, thank you so much. Let's head out to our roadways so we can see what's going on. So according to the map here, and also our sources, we do not have any accidents out there this morning. So we are crash free. We don't have any stalled cars out there, and looks like none of the construction happening is really causing any backup at all. So it's wide open roads for your Friday morning drive. Time now, 5:02. Nevada set another record for daily COVID-19 cases with more than 1,400 new cases reported in just one day. According to the state health department, in the last week alone, we've seen more than 5,000 new cases. At least 123 visitors who came to Nevada tested positive for COVID-19 while they were here or shortly after returning home. The week casinos reopened, 16 visitors tested positive. Nearly half were from California and 17% from Arizona. And the virus now impacting the Thunderbirds. The team has been grounded after the U.S. Air Force says some members tested positive. Now, they were supposed to have an air show in Wyoming next week. The Air Force did not reveal how many people tested positive, but we're told none of them are pilots. Well, weekends are typically when we see more visitors that come to the valley here, but before you head outside, there's something new to keep in mind. We have a chart here on your screen from the White House showing Nevada is now in the coronavirus red zone. You can see our new cases and also the test positivity rate all in the red there. And 13 Action News anchor Nina Porciucula joining us live right now from the Health District to break down the chart and also explain the precautions the White House is now urging Nevada to take. Nina?
Yeah, local health officials have been keeping a close eye on this. They said that we've also been seeing a steady rise in cases since early June, and now the White House coming out with this new warning for us. So here's another look at that color red chart that you just saw. You see a lot of red there. Nevada is now higher than the national average for new cases per 100,000 residents. But in the top right there, you also see the U.S. as a whole also considered in the red zone with 119 new infections per 100,000 new residents. Now, the White House is calling this a concerning situation, also recommending that local leaders here in Clark County revert to phase 1 policies, including immediately closing gyms and all bars that remain open, limiting social gatherings to no more than 10 people, and encourage outdoor dining for restaurants. Now, these new recommendations come 2 weeks after the 4th of July holiday, where we saw crowds at Lake Mead and Fremont Street, where many were not social distancing or wearing face masks.
It's important because, again, 4th of July, of course, implied a larger movement of the population, people visiting relatives or friends, or also people going to public places like you just mentioned, Lake Mead and other places here around the community. So the interaction between people increase.
Now, state health officials say hospital bed capacity is still in good shape in Nevada, but we have learned that some of those beds are being used by out-of-state patients. UMC, our state's only level 1 trauma center, is now reporting beds in the ICU are over 90% full. Now, we have reached out to the governor's office about the White House's recommendations, but we have not heard back. But the governor did say a couple of weeks ago that he is considering shutting down gyms, pools, and water parks if the cases continue to go up. Reporting live, Nina Pershunkla, 13 Action News.
All right, Nina, thank you so much. More businesses are being forced to pay up for not following COVID-19 health and safety measures. The state issued 5 grocery store citations. One Walmart near Lake Mead and Jones was fined more than $13,000. The report from the Division of Industrial Relations also shows water parks, casino, hotel, pools, bars and restaurants and home improvement stores are among the top offenders. Now, to report a business, you can call 702-486-9020. New this morning, a lawsuit filed on behalf of immigrants being held at the Southern Nevada Detention Center. Lawyers say the center is not taking enough precautions to protect them from the coronavirus. The lawyers say 25 people at the center have tested positive for COVID-19. The lawsuit says immigrants were unable to practice social distancing guidelines, so they were put at higher risk for getting the virus. Lawyers are now calling on the governor to hold the center and other similar facilities accountable.
I just didn't want to die. It was to the point where I almost gave up hope.
This morning, we hear from CCSD bus driver Peter Dixon, who unknowingly went to work with COVID-19. He says he was afraid if he called out sick, he would lose his job. Now, coming up at 6 a.m., we hear from Peter and his co-workers who say the school district didn't take enough action. Remembering 1-year-old Royce Jones, dozens of people showed up last night to honor the little boy. Family and friends say they'll miss his smile, the words he was learning to say, his growing and sometimes stubborn personality. They wrote messages on blue balloons and set the balloons free. The little boy's grandmother now adjusting to life without him.
He's not coming down the steps anymore. He's not fighting with his aunt that's 4 years old for the toys. It's quiet.
The family has not announced funeral arrangements just yet. Royce was killed in a suspected DUI racing crash near Rampart and Lake Mead Sunday. The little boy's parents are under arrest right now for being involved in his death. Police say they were racing before Royce was killed. Now, this morning we have new video showing the seconds before the deadly crash. You can see here in this video the father's white Mercedes and the mother's sedan speeding down the street. Moments later, the mother crashed into a marquee, splitting the car in half. Police are using this video as proof that the dad, Cameron Hubbard Jones, was going just as fast as the mom, Lauren Presilla. And Thursday, Cameron did not appear in court for medical reasons. The judge also revealed Cameron Hubbard Jones is on probation for prior convictions. Right now, he's being held without bail. The mother is also facing several charges, including driving under the influence. 5:08 now, new video of a deadly stunt that played out live on Facebook. A homeless man, Larry Connor, was offered $6 to do a backflip. He landed on his neck and later died. Police say Keontae Jones convinced the man to do the stunt and recorded it all on video. And now on that video, you can hear Jones laughing while Connor is on the ground.
I told him backflip for $6. He went and hit the back. He said, I got to do it on grass. He went and did it on grass.
Police also say Jones told people not to call for help. Jones is out on bail but is facing a felony charge. New explosive claims from the teachers union saying the attacks against the superintendent are racially motivated. That's according to the head of the Clark County Education Association, John Bellardita.
They never supported this guy being hired as superintendent. They wanted a white candidate, a white male candidate, to be the superintendent.
Now, this comes as the National Education Association of Southern Nevada calls for Dr. Jesus Jara to resign. Now, the dispute between Jara and the NEA partly centers around a piece of legislation that would have allowed the district to take back unspent dollars from schools to help offset the budget deficit. Velardita says instead of focusing on JARA, leaders need to focus on reopening schools safely and overcoming a massive budget shortfall. We reached out to the district for a response to the racial allegations, but we have yet to hear back. And parents, today is the last day you can tell CCSD how you feel about its reopening plan. The deadline to fill out the district survey is just hours away at 5 p.m. It'll help principals understand what families need as schools begin to reopen. The survey is available in both English and Spanish, and we do have a link to it on our website, ktnv.com. Also happening today, you can get all of your questions answered about the Paycheck Protection Program. There's a webinar from 2 to 3 o'clock this afternoon hosted by the Downtown Vegas Alliance. Businesses can ask questions about the PPP forms and also get tips on how to make sure their loan is forgiven. We have a link on how to register on our website, ktnv.com. And if your business needs help, the City of Las Vegas is reopening its emergency grant program. It'll offer another $2 million to help local companies. You can apply for the grant starting this Monday. Now, you have until July 31st to submit your application, and we do have more information on which businesses are eligible and also the link to apply on our website, ktnv.com.
How do you like that? Huh?
A trooper caught on camera pulling a man out of his car by the neck after he was pulled over for expired plates. Plus, local businesses that depend on visitors are trying to bounce back. This morning, we take you inside the world's largest gift shop to show you how they are making a comeback. And dive-in movies are back at Wet n Wild. What film you can catch tonight?
Temperatures will be dropping into the 90s tonight, eventually by about 9 p.m. It's going to be a hot afternoon at 107. Warmer than that on Saturday and Sunday. We're up to 109. We'll see how long the heat lasts and go looking for some monsoon moisture in the 7-day planner.